Hello, everybody. I hope you're all having a super incredible day. For our presentation, we'll be assessing the Parr family, but you might better know them as the Incredibles from the Pixar films of the same name. In this presentation, we plan to use the Calgary Family Assessment Model, or CFAM, to analyze the structure, function, and communication of this family unit. The family systems theory is our guiding framework in our analysis, and we will also use Duvall's family development theory to consider the Incredibles' developmental stage and related tasks.
The Parrs, also known as the Incredibles, are a traditional nuclear family made up of 2 parents and 3 children. Bob and Helen Parr are middle-aged parents managing the challenges of work, marriage, and parenting. Their children are at different developmental stages. Violet is a teenager navigating identity and independence. Dash is a school-age child full of energy and curiosity, and Jack Jack is the baby, representing growth and potential. Each family member's unique traits mirror common family roles and dynamics within a healthy family system. The Parr family from The Incredibles represents Duvall's Stage 4, families with school-age children. At this stage, parents focus on balancing work, marriage, and parenting while supporting their children's growth, education, and independence. Violet and Dash show this stage clearly. Violet is developing her identity and confidence as a teenager, while Dash is learning discipline and social skills in school. Jack Jack's infancy adds complexity as the family manages multiple developmental needs. Bob and Helen demonstrate typical middle-aged parenting. Helen adapts well, managing both home and career, while Bob's frustration with job loss shows the stress of shifting roles. The Parr's family dynamics show both strengths and challenges. They are loving and resilient, relying on teamwork. Secrecy about their superhero lives creates occasional strain. Despite challenges, the Parrs generally have open communication and demonstrate adaptability, all key traits of a healthy family in this developmental stage.
So the Parr family is navigating several major stressors, including career transitions, adolescence, and secrecy, which all have intensified the tension and emotional strain within the family's household. This slide focuses on the family's current experience of family stress and role strain, which supports the nursing diagnosis of ineffective family coping related to life transitions and communication barriers. So Bob, which is the husband, he's the leader and the financial provider of the family. He feels a loss of purpose, so he struggles between balancing work, family, and his own internal conflicts. We also have Helen, which is the caregiver, the nurturer. She feels overwhelmed as she's trying to now manage multiple roles. Violet is the eldest daughter. She provides a sense of support. However, she feels often unseen and isolated. Dash, which is the middle child, he's the risk taker. He pushes boundaries, but he often feels an identity crisis as he can't really express who he is openly. Jack Jack, which is the baby, adds this level of unpredictability and extra demands on the family. These factors highlight how disrupted roles and communication barriers contribute to ineffective coping. So addressing these stressors is essential for restoring family balance, improving family functioning, and strengthening the overall stability of the family.
Although not explicitly tied to religion, the Parr family embodies Western middle-class American values, such as independence, heroism, and conformity to law and order. Their suburban setting reflects post-war American ideals of the nuclear family. However, their superhero status introduces a cultural subtext about diversity and acceptance of difference. This reflects the real-world experience of marginalized groups, managing secrecy, safety, and belonging. The Parr family's cultural values and unique circumstances shape their communication, influencing how they express identity, navigate conflict, and build trust. Helen often mediates conflict using open, empathetic communications. For example, we're superheroes. What can happen? Bob tends towards assertive or defensive dialogue reflecting internal frustrations. Violet and Dash exhibit typical sibling rivalry, using humor and sarcasm, but also demonstrate loyalty in stressful moments. Helen's physical flexibilities as elastic grows metaphorically reflects emotional adaptability. Bob's body language conveys pride and frustrations, often crossing arms or using large gestures. Violet's posture and eye contact evolves, initially withdrawn and hiding behind her hair, later standing upright and confident by the film's end. Family touch, eye contact, and proximity increases during mission, symbolizing growing unity and trust. Let's look at the PAR family through three key family functions. First, the affective function, or the emotional support. At the beginning, it's clearly dysfunctional. Bob is disconnected, and Violet feels isolated. Helen is overwhelmed trying to hold everyone together. The family gives very little comfort to each other. But as the story unfolds, they start to grow emotionally. Bob hugs Violet after her social rejection, and Helen reassures Dash when he struggles. These moments show the emotional support and trust are being restored. Next, the security and acceptance function. Initially, it's fragile, the family hides their power from the world, and they don't feel safe being themselves. As they face challenges together, they start to embrace their abilities as a family strength. On this island, despite the danger, they finally feel safe and accepted, able to be their authentic selves without judgment. Finally, the socialization function. Early on in The Credibles, the children are pushed to fit into a normal society, which clashes with their identities and leads to poor social outcomes. Over time, the family creates a new culture, the code of the superhero. They teach Jack to control his power and reinforce values like teamwork, courage, and responsibilities. By the end, this socialization strengthens the family, giving them unity, purpose, and a clear set of shared values.
So this slide focuses on the issue of parental role imbalance between Helen and Bob Parr. The problem is there's uneven responsibilities between them, so that has led to role strain and disrupting the family's balance. Intervention strategies that we came up with include A, assessing their normal family functioning, trying to get them back to that level or redistributing responsibilities more evenly. B, facilitating lifestyle adjustments by helping them manage family career transitions, reducing external pressures, and developing routines that promote healthy balance between the family. And then C, like encouraging communication and collaboration between both the parents to help them regain a shared sense of purpose. If we implement these interventions, we should expect to see balanced parental roles, improved satisfaction, and open and effective communication. Because research shows that families with balanced roles are happier, more functional, and more adaptable to stress. This results in reduced individual strain, but also strengthens the entire family system.
Each member of the Parr family experiences stressors that originate outside of the family system. That stress in turn affects how they all interact with each other and how the family as a unit is able to function. An intervention that we propose to help with this challenge is to collaborate with the Parr family to identify appropriate sources of support. We hope that this will result in the Parr family being able to identify people within their support system and that they feel a little less isolated in the unique challenges of their everyday lives.
Conflict and socialization interventions. Violet and Dash are socialized to normality, which conflicts with their superhero identity. Even Helen and Bob's socialization can be affected. Overall, the family lacks shared meaning around their powers and identity as a unit, which can also affect their socialization. These are the proposed interventions which consider Duval's stage 4. Encourage open communication to reduce secrecy and role confusion. Violet kept questioning her identity, and Dash has restricted autonomy due to keeping their powers a secret. Provide education on positive coping and acceptance during transitions. Jack's infancy posed as an adjustment to the family, weighing more on Bob and Helen. Our outcomes would be the Parr family will have at least one facilitated discussion wherein each member express their perceptions of their powers and identity. In turn, will also strengthen family cohesion and resilience. This is because family systems theory views the family as an interconnected emotional unit, and each member's behavior affects the whole system. Thus, open communication reduces secrecy and confusion, educating the kids on coping promotes adaptation and identity, and will ultimately foster a shared meaning for the Parr family's cohesion. According to Chang et al. 2024, higher family cohesion was associated with better emotion regulation, which in turn promotes social responsibility and positive socialization. Being a superhero family isn't easy, especially if you fight crime while fighting to prevent a dysfunctional family. Thanks to theories and models such as the Calgary Family Assessment Model, Family Systems Theory, and Duval's Family Developmental Theory, we are able to understand the interdependent dynamics within the family to identify problems, create solutions, and keep our families incredible. Thank you for listening to our presentation.